Saskia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear
There
me?
you go. I can hear you. Hello, baby girl. How are you?
Hey, Uncle G. I am. I'm good. I had I had my first week on my first assignment, so it was quite a thing, but we survived. So
How's that going now?
and
Are you able to work from home on this project or?
yeah, I'm able to work from home. Let me quickly just still have to fine tune
Oh, I'm
my
loving.
thing.
I'm loving your background though. I'm loving it also.
Did you know that I actually put it there special because I actually changed it with another one, and
Wait a
but
minute.
then every time.
That's not the same app.
It's the same app, it
Okay.
is, but I don't use it on my work calls, so then there's a different picture.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so every time that we were setting up for this, I was like, oh, I have to pay which painting back there again.
Maps are
Uncle,
important too. Keep that in mind. Go
very
ahead.
important. Then you know where you have been and where you
Yes,
still want to
and where
be.
you going?
I'm just very happy to be seeing you again, man.
No, the pleasure is mine. It really is. I know it's been kind of rough, us coordinating, and I'm a bag of marbles. So it happens when it happens. But we're here now. So
We're here now, exactly. It just wasn't meant to be before, and now the stars are aligned.
yes,
So
it's a
now
beautiful thing.
we will take this moment.
So let's get.
Before
Oh no, you go ahead.
you
I'm sorry. I'll do that all day long. Go ahead. So, Saska, um, let everybody know about who you are and your rLoop uh, journey. How did you get here? How did you get involved?
That's already 2 years, 3 years ago. So a little bit of background from my side. 3 years ago, I was a project manager at TE Connectivity, which was a company that sponsored rLoop. And I actually saw some stuff about rLoop on our intranet, and I actually looked them up, and I was like, "Oh, could they use someone like me?" And you know what? They couldn't. So I was like, damn it. Oh, sorry, no cursing, but no,
No
so
shit. No
so
shit about that cursing stuff. So go ahead.
no. No, but I think yeah, so almost 3 years ago in October, that was October 2018. I went to a conference in North Carolina, in Charlotte. And I was presenting one of my major projects over there, which was all about creating a smart factory. So I was the project leader of that, or the project manager of that project. And the idea of it was basically to have a black box. And if you have an idea, you can upload it to that black box. And one day later, you would have a functional testable prototype at your desk. How cool is that?
That
It
is
was pretty cool.
very cool. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So that's why I was at that conference. And since it was an internal TE conference, rLoop was presenting there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I met Ilyas, that's when I met Brent, and that's when I met Tom. And I remember that we had, at that time, there was a reorganization at TE. And so I knew that even though I was presenting my project, it would probably have been shut down. The chances of it was like 99%. So my motivation to be there was, but I was still there, and I was like, well, let's go and have fun. So there was this, exactly, right? You gotta make something from it.
Right.
So there was a workshop held by rLoop, which to me, it didn't ring a bell, nothing whatsoever. But it was about working digitally online and how do you do that. And I actually didn't want to go. I was like, ugh, workshop, it's probably people see me there and they're like, you're a woman, you can be the typing machine of our group. And I was like, no, I don't want to. So I actually didn't want to
You
go.
don't seem like that type. you let them know real fast. Go ahead.
No, I was not.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I shouldn't go. And I was like, you know what? I will go, but I'm only going to have fun. I'm not going to be the typewriter. I'm not going to be serious. I'm just going to, be me, do my thing. So I came there, introduced myself, sit with a group, and immediately they said, hey, you can be the typewriter. I was like, oh, no, I cannot.
No way. They did it anyway.
So some other people were being the typewriter, and they got an introduction on how to use Slack, like an rLooper. And it's pretty funny to see a 60-year-old engineer trying to figure out Slack, then you get the real, can you hear me now conversations and stuff like that. And after that workshop, Ilyas actually came to me. And to be honest, I thought he was pissed at me, because it was like, you weren't serious during our workshop, and me, how dare you? But he was actually, well, like, hey, who are you? I want to know more about you, because you're the only one having fun at our workshop. So please introduce yourself.
Exactly.
So we just got to talking, and I really liked the rLoop philosophy about working on projects that just stimulate you, that are internally rewarding, that are really making a difference, together with a whole community of like-minded people.
Right.
And vice versa, they were very charmed about my smart factory project. They were like, well, could we have one, please? And I was like, yeah, not
So
that easy.
So Saskia, they were actually excited about your black box project when they heard it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
No one else but the loopers. Yeah, they were like, yeah, that works all day long.
Yeah, so that was actually like, oh, well, maybe you want it, because apparently it's well, it was a high risk project, and it wasn't in line with the company's strategy anymore. So I get it, it's business, but it was just so fun to meet people who actually got it, and you were like,
right.
It's so cool if we could realize that. So that's how I got on board to rLoop. And well, you know me, right?
Yeah. I in my introduction, I was telling everybody before you came in that out of all the rLoopers I know, I mean, you're like my road dog, man, because when we did the Frisco trip, you were like the sense of reasoning, the mother hen when you had to be, and we won't go into any details, and one hell of a good navigator too.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, you remember you were my by default always. I'm like, hell no, you can't navigate. Saskia, get up here.
Tell me which way to go. Yeah, that was so strange. Someone listening to me, if I said go left, and I was like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and all of those other bright minds in the car, and nobody can tell me which way was left. So awesome. Now, since you got with rLoop, though, you've been a busy person, haven't you?
I have been.
Tell us about some of the projects that you're currently working on inside of rLoop.
So when I started rLoop, so as I said, or as you said, you know me, I'm a busy bee, and typically I am like, I do something and I get I jump 2 feet in,
Right.
And this time I was like, no, I'm gonna sit back, I'm just gonna see where I can contribute. And then Tom, who was back then, who was still in rLoop, he basically came to me and said, like, Saskia, this is your channel, now go do your thing, please make us one smart factory. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm making a smart factory now. So for I think 2 years or something, we have thought and worked with the team on what does it mean to have a smart factory for rLoop, because it's one thing to design something digitally together in a cloud environment. You can use Google Docs for that, stuff like that. But at a certain moment, you need to have a physical prototype. You need to have something locally. You can't do that decentral, or how do you do that decentral? And that's how we came up with the idea for rBridge. And that's what we call the bridge between digital design and physical product. And it's about, instead of owning, making capabilities, it's about using them from people who already have that. So an easy example or an easy parallel would be Uber. If you want to go from A to B, but you don't have a car, you whip out your phone, you get an Uber, and you don't have a car, but you have transport. Right. Or what if making a prototype was just as easy? So if you need to 3D print something or mail something or post-process something, but you don't have those capabilities, how cool would it be to just connect with people who have those capabilities and who can do that for you, local or on the other side of the world? Say, I was making something here. Say, I was making, I don't know, fidget cube. You saw this.
I want one of those too. Can you make me one?
Well, what if I found a supplier or a maker near you, and I just send them an STL file or a file to make it, they make it, and poof, you have it. We don't have to send it across the world because you can just make it locally.
Okay, so you find that would be real cool, and think about all of the money that we just saved on cost, and especially if I need it in an area that doesn't have the resources, you can find the resources closest to me to provide that. I guess.
Exactly.
And we're talking globally, and we're talking about.
We're talking globally. So say you want a fidget cube, but I don't know, it should be powered using solar cells, or it should have contain nanoparticles or something like that. Well,
Ooh.
say it should contain all the knowledge in the whole universe, and there's only one company in the whole wide world who can do that. You could find it on the rBridge platform. That's the idea.
Wow. Now, with that kind of concept, that would put a lot of. I can see how rBridge would have a lot of things on the table at once, or it has the capacity to have a lot of things on it, because if you come up with an idea, you come up with a concept, then you bring it to rBridge, and that might be a subgroup over here working on this one, a subgroup over here. There may be synergy between what you're trying to do, say just in the manufacturing part or something like that. You've already figured that out on a global level. So that's fascinating.
So we started with that idea, and of course, as you said, the thing is, you have an idea and you can make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So the challenge for us was really to keep it like, well, what is really that first step in there? Because if you want to boil the ocean, well, that's just not doable.
Right.
And of course, in the ultimate dream of a network of engineers is to make it yourself. But also, given limited time available, we decided to not build our own platform for that, but rather connect with parties who have that. So that's why we have collaborations with Wikifactory. That's why we're working together with XDI. So they have an amazing collaboration platform where you can just put your project on, connect with makers, and they can make your product. They can make your idea.
Now, how does that differ from crowdsourcing?
Well, it's crowd prototyping, basically.
Okay. It's dealing, instead of dealing with just a bunch of individuals, but a bunch of resources, maybe. That can do things where crowdsourcing, anybody can hop in and,
it's a form of crowdsourcing. So crowdsourcing can be crowdfunding, it can be crowd collaborating, what rLoop is really doing. But it can also be like, well, we can make something together with the crowd.
Right. Well, sourcing, I guess, you're right. It's all crowdsourcing. So.
I think it's all under the umbrella of crowdsourcing.
Now tell everybody about Glitch.
So Glitch originated almost, I think it's half a year, 9 months ago, something like that.
Okay.
The great thing about rLoop is we have all these minds, we have all these smart people, and
and Uncle G, not everybody's smart, trust me.
Well, you're very smart, Uncle G. You're just also very.
I have common sense. That's about as far as it goes, and I'm cool with that.
That's also really important. That's
amongst a bunch of smart people. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. So anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so a bunch of smart people, and we came in contact with a company with a Dutch company who was like, well, we have this problem. We have a problem. We have an issue, and it's really not in our core business, or we don't have the people to solve it. We just don't have that knowledge in our network. And you guys, you rLoopers, you say, hey, we are so smart. We are a network of innovators. How about you think about a solution for that? And so we had some discussions in channel about that. And I know Brent and I, we basically said to each other, well, why don't we make it fun? Instead of making it an rLoop specific thing, why don't we make it a competition, open it up to the world, and harvest the knowledge on a more global scale? So make it an incentive competition. We set a really cool prize, preferably something that money can't buy. Mm-hmm. So say you would design a award-winning fidget cube. It would be your name printed on the fidget cube, on any fidget cube. How cool is that? Then your name would be in.
Right.
How many households would your name be? You'll be like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, it'd be in mine, because
like that.
I want one of those fidget cubes, and I don't even know what it is. But I want one.
No, these are just, they're amazing. This is my thing to do when I shouldn't do this, And it's like, just take it. So you have buttons and rotators and all that stuff. They're amazing. But anyway, going back to Glitch. So we decided, what if we make it interesting make it an incentive competition. And that's how the idea of glitch started. So glitch is short for Global Innovation Challenge. And that's exactly what it is. We challenge the world to come up with ideas for big or small questions that a company itself cannot solve at that moment. And that could be for that Dutch company we just spoke about shortly, or it could be for, well, in the whole Corona time, you saw these kinds of competitions also pop up, but a lot of them were really just purely marketing.
Right.
And for us, it's really about bringing that content, so really solving it. And what makes Glitch truly unique is that for most competitions, you have to sign up as a whole team, such as rFight did,
Right.
and such as rLoop did with the Hyperloop. But for Glitch, if you have no team, you have no problem, because you can also sign up as an individual, and we will team you up with a group of people that creates a, well, we wouldn't say you're a mechanical engineer, we wouldn't pair you up with 5 other mechanical engineers. You know, we would pair you up with a mixed group of people. So you can still participate and you can actually get to learn people just like you working on things that interest you, and then still solve a glitch together. And then you actually get a very funny thing happening. You can see the difference, what happens between a co-located team and a globally dispersed team, and see what's better.
Well, you might as well harvest the data while you're at it, huh? You know?
Well, that is part of it as well. It's as Brent calls it, and I agree with him. It's a bit social experiment, like
Yes.
who does better in this? So yeah, that's the idea of Glitch. And right now we are starting it up. We are working together with XDI, who have a very nice platform to host our glitches on.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's all about finding people who want to participate in glitches.
Okay, so here's a question I have. I want to make something like that cube, but mine is totally different. How do we figure out what's going to be the competition? So once we get enough people that are interested in competing, right? Do you have to have X amount of people say, well, I want to make a cube, or X amount of people say, I want to make this, and then okay, I got so many people want to do the cube. Let's do the competition for a cube. Is it like that, or you know what I'm saying? At some point, because we're talking about doing competitions, we're going to have enough people, enough teams, enough people interested in that one thing.
Yeah, exactly. So right now we are looking for people who are generally interested, but for instance, such as with the Go Fly competition or the Hyperloop competition, that wasn't like, hey people, what kind of competition would you want to do? And then given their answers, we would make that competition. Okay. It's on one side finding the people who are interested, and on the other side finding companies organizations who have an issue, who want to see that solved.
They want it solved, yeah. Okay, so
exactly. So for instance,
there you go. Go ahead.
So for instance, that could be in the case of Go Fly, that was Boeing, who was looking for the future of aviation. Well, in our cases, that could be that Dutch company who are looking for a solution to a construction problem. And given those partners, what we do is we define the glitch together. So we are in discussion with them. What is it they want? What kind of solution, what kind of requirements would it have to fit? How long could it take? What would be the price award? And how many people should their minimal be to make it their worthwhile? I mean, if you have 2 people signing up, then it's still like, But so you want to have a minimum of, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe 50, maybe 100 people, maybe even 1,000 people.
Right.
Well, given that definition, we launched the glitch. We market it. We open the submissions. People can sign up. We have a kickoff online. We present. We make sure they have all the tools to create their solution. So they get workshops. They get experts' advice. Ask me anything sessions. Literature, whatever they need, we will make sure that they have it, so that they can come up with the solution to the price, to the problem that the glitch is facing.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow,
that's the idea.
That's actually that's a big undertaking, the whole thing. If it takes off, and we know it will, we just put the energy in it. But when it takes off, just imagine. I had a guy last year. contacted me, and I contacted rLoop about it. He had a contract in Africa to bring water from the well, right? But the problem, the village that he wanted to bring the water to was at a very low elevation compared to where the water level was and the distance of where the well was. And he had told us that he had been to maybe 20 different engineering companies to try to figure out the most cost-efficient way to get that water from down here, from way over here and up here. And we turned him on to a couple of people. I don't know how far it went, but at least we had people that wanted to talk to him. You know, we actually got him actually going on Reddit and Slack and asking questions. Told him, here, go to this place, go to that place. Never heard back from him, so maybe it worked. You know. So,
well, I hope it did. I hope it did. But also, such a topic would be perfect for a glitch. Yeah. So if you ever come across such a guy again and they're like, hey, could you help me solve this problem? I need some really smart people to think about it. It could be a very good thing for a glitch.
You know, I was so looking forward to finally getting to this point where we could sit down and do this. So I had a couple of practice runs, right? And I am.
No, we had a few pre-discussions.
Pre-discussions, yes.
Let's call them pre-discussions.
Yeah, well, we could use that word again, glitch. But yeah, pre-discussion and glitch. So we've solved the problem. But you know, from every dark cloud, there's a silver lining, and there's truly one in this case. I have to come and visit. I am totally enamored with your country. I am. I've done my.
Wait. You're enamored with the Netherlands. Tell me, and tell me something original why you are enamored with the Netherlands.
Well, I'm going to tell you a lot of reasons why, but it made me think about something while I was doing this, you know, preparing, because you know I'm pretty much a one-man show, you know, and I'm just an old fart that you know try to put together the best thing I can, you know, for what it is. Nothing professional about this, but. One of the things that it brought to mind is that I'm interviewing people from all over the world.
You are? How cool is that?
I am. Now, as a 20-year veteran of the United States military, I've done my share of traveling, but I am what's known as a Westpac sailor. So if you want to talk to me about anything in the Pacific, I don't care where it is in the Pacific, I've probably been arrested there, thrown in a drunk tank, was in a bar fight or something like that, you know. But when you talk about the other hemisphere, you know, I wasn't privy to a lot of that. And in preparation for your interview, I really gave it a lot of thought. And I'm like, you know, Saskia has given me this idea that I think on every one of my shows I need to do.
Really? I inspired you.
you definitely inspired me. You definitely inspired me. And if you give me, if you give me 1 second, I'll show you the fruits of your inspiration. So let me go ahead and share screen for a second.
An rLoopers guide to high-speed road tripping. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, you know, in the future, as we do this in the future, I would love to have something animated. I was actually going to go out and get a globe and spin it real fast, and then and then do a cutout of a hyperloop and put it on a fishing pole and put it in front of the globe, you know. But
that's so cool. You should totally do that.
I think so. I think that would be nice.
Totally do that. Yeah.
Either that or something in the line of a Homer Simpson type of cartoon, something animated though. But I believe this. I believe this needs to be in every show. So we need a rLoopers guide to high-speed road tripping. Our stop today is the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
Dun, dun, dun. Now,
Gary, what am I seeing? Tell me.
What are you seeing?
This looks like the Netherlands. Yes.
That is the Netherlands, and you're looking at a crest and you're looking at a flag from one of the.
It's not the Dutch flag, is it? Is it the Dutch flag? Do we have a new flag?
Well, you're going to be the one doing all the answering of the questions here. But you notice I did include my wooden shoes. We talked about Lederhosens and wooden shoes, and there it goes right there.
Yeah,
And,
there they are.
and although the Lederhosen is not from the Netherlands,
Nope.
I noticed that where you're at, you're pretty close to Belgium and Germany. You know, that's not a hard trip for you. So let's see. On our first stop, there we go again, Gary. Okay, here's what I know. There's 12 different provinces in the Netherlands, right? Your most popular one is actually South Holland. You got about.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I did not. But well, that's where that's where the big cities are. So it makes sense.
You have 3.7 million people there, as opposed to a place called Zeeland, which is down south on the coast. 380,000 people. So and when I take a look at these places, I mean, Zeeland is just so green and it's got beaches and it's so nice. I'm like, oh my God, that looked like just a great place to go. Now, of course, I had mentioned earlier, flags are important. You know, you got to have flags. So when I knew I was about to go, when I knew I was about to go road tripping, the first thing I went and did, you know, is, of course, I had to get the whole overview. But then I needed to get a little more specific, so I got me another flag. So once again, so now I needed to look at Eindhoven. I keep saying it right. Say it one more time.
Eindhoven.
Eindhoven. So maps are important. So this was the map that I ended up choosing. I don't think you guys have the wall around it anymore. But
no, we do not.
No,
I don't think we do.
It's been updated, but I kind of like that one because, you know, you got a moat and you got people marching in and stuff. So that was kind of cool.
Well, so up until the 1900s, Eindhoven was basically, well, so this is Middle Ages Eindhoven, but up until the 1900s, Eindhoven was basically just nothing, just swamp and meadows and a teeny tiny village. And when someone with the last name of Phillips, oh, this is really bad for me as an Eindhovener.
That's a big name. That's a big name in Eindhoven too.
Yeah, Phillips. When they established the Philips factory here, that's when Eindhoven grew and grew and grew. So because everyone started living near the factory, and that's how the city of Eindhoven came to be. So
now see, I never knew that. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. Here's what Eindhoven is. What I find about Eindhoven that's so interesting. It is a place of innovation and high tech. They make no qualms about it whatsoever. I mean, we are all about cutting edge. You have some weird connection with lighting, but we'll talk about that later. It's a very earth friendly place, and it's very artistic.
Why are we earth friendly? Tell me.
I'm gonna show you why you're earth friendly. Actually, I can even tell you why you're earth friendly. I'll just give you a little tidbit. Do you know that in Eindhoven, you expect to be fossil fuel free by 2025? Do you know how close that is?
I did not know that.
Right.
And that's pretty close. That's 4.5 years.
That's 4.5 years, and you guys are already pretty much ahead of the pack when it comes to the whole planet. When it comes to stuff like that. So, and you got the coolest lawn bowling I've ever seen. So there it goes.
We do, right?
Yes, you do. So let's talk about the technical stuff. Didn't you go to that school?
I did. I went to the Technical University in Eindhoven. I studied industrial engineering. So officially, I am an engineer in background in studies.
And everybody in this whole school it has something to do with engineering or tech or something like that. I mean, you don't go there to be a HR manager.
Well, within the industrial engineering department, we did have human performance management. So if you really wanted to go, you could be an HR manager. But the focus is really about the technical stuff. So we had the die-hard studies, the really hard technical studies like electrical engineering, science and physics and all that stuff. And then we had the software courses, as we said. So that was more about industrialization, human performance management, stuff like that. And that's something I am still being told as to the day of today that I'm not a true engineer. I'm a soft engineer, or I'm a fake engineer because I didn't study.
Ah, the hell with them up their ass. All of them. You're my engineer,
oh well,
baby girl.
that's why I decided to be project manager. And I'm like, nope, I'm not an engineer. I'm just project manager.
Yeah,
Fly away.
I hire and fire engineers. Get off me. You know. So
I manage the engineer. So
now, for those people out there that do not know, and I did not know, but Philips Lighting is home based from right there in Eindhoven, right? And everybody knows Philips light bulbs. I mean, you have to know it. You know, it's one of the largest companies in the world. You know, so I did put up a picture of their factory, and this underneath, you know, it looks like a AT&T connectivity commercial or something like that. But this is actually something that they did using mirrors in one building, and they were able to shoot light all throughout a city. It's actually crazy when you look at the exploded picture.
This is something. So every year we have a lighting festival. It's called Glow.
Don't even go there, baby girl. I know.
Oh, you already know.
I know my stuff. I know my shit.
Okay.
I'm going to. Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with everybody out there, and I want you to look at me. If you need to go to YouTube and check out the Glow Light Festival, that is
definitely
just sick.
It is.
It's like the whole town just gets lit up.
It's lit.
and you get to go to this all the time, huh?
Every year. Well, maybe not this year, but every year.
They probably not this year, but
if you go to YouTube, to the people out there, if you go to YouTube and search this, make sure you see a video of the church, the cathedral during Glow, because what they do is it's just tripping.
I've seen them. I sat here, you know, I probably watched maybe about 2 hours of video on the Glow lighting thing. Then I told my daughters, hey, look, I got to look at this. I'm telling everybody else, you got to look at this. But see, it gets even weirder than that. I mean, not only do you guys have this strange connection with light bulbs, I understand it, I get it, you know, Philips Lighting, but you're like festival happy. You have a freaking festival about everything, including graffiti. And
yep, we do.
You got a graffiti festival where it's like okay to break out with your spray paints and hey, spray on my wall. Come on, you know. And
it's amazing. We have a roundabout here, which basically has the cycle lanes going under it. So you have a lot of tunnels. It's called the Berenput, so the bear pit. And they have that graffiti festival. And it's amazing. You can just go there, chill on the grass, and watch all these amazing artists just create art right in front of you.
Oh, some of the pictures, I mean, just the ones that I gave you here, it was really hard just to pick out which ones do you want to use, Gary. I mean, it's got just so much going on. Now, does the graffiti stay there year round?
Yeah. It does. It's completely legit to make graffiti over there. So the new graffiti comes there, is added to there regularly. So, you know, people spray over each other's work. But once a year, they clean it all off, or they spray paint everything just, you know, white or black.
Yeah, blank canvas and just start over canvas. And they have a competition. Again. And now real quick, the Glow Light, check this out, November 11th through the 17th. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah. So you definitely have to come visit during Glow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Now, when is the graffiti festival?
That's in summer.
That's a summer festival. Yeah.
That's a summer thing. So I think June, July, something around there.
It's better for paint, you know, in warmer weather. So I can imagine that. I'm gonna have to look that one up also. Okay, so you guys paint on the wall, you light up the sky and buildings and everything else. You know, that's weird.
Is it though?
You know, yeah, it is. Oh, wait a minute. Where did I go? Oh, did I do that? Okay, so all right. So let's get into some other things right here. Okay, so
oh wow.
In which of these activities do you have any experience?
And
Now,
we
now,
should make
now,
this.
now, give it a second before you say anything, because I want the people out there to just look at all of those, and then in your mind, go ahead and pick whatever you say, and then in the Zombieland channel, go ahead and just type it in our post remarks. Which one do you think Saska's got some real experience at? Okay. Now,
Maybe we should. Maybe this is like when we go to commercials, or we come back next week with the solution. Which one of these three did I do?
which one of these three did you do? Well, we're not going to break for a solution because we're going to get right into it right here. Let's just go for it. Yeah, you tell us.
Oh, I did all three.
You're experienced at all of these, aren't you?
Yeah,
You know.
I am. Definitely. I actually sent you some pictures just before the so you can add them in during post.
Yeah, we'll put them up in the post, but you know, so now I'm starting to get this other vibe about Eindhoven, right? Everybody is outside and healthy and doing stuff, right? Because these are all, you know, they're all outdoor physical activities. So you have actually a very long a relationship with horses and competing, right?
Me too.
You are a competitive. And look, isn't that the club?
It is. How did you find that?
I'm the man. I keep telling you, I'm the chef. Pass the word.
That's amazing. Yep. No, so
you've done this before. You've hopped over dinghies.
Oh, so over thingies, yeah, I've hopped over a lot of thingies. And sometimes I landed pretty good as well. So
yeah, they never show the pictures coming down. It's always the ones going up.
It's only up, you know. There's like, oh, impressive, and then you come down, it's like,
oh shit,
less impressive. No, it's true. I grew up on a farm, and we had a Shetlander pony, which is like this teeny tiny Icelandic horse, which can also carry grown-ups. And I could basically ride a pony before I could walk.
Now, are they Shetlands?
Yeah, they're Shetlands.
Yeah, kind of long-haired, husky little ponies.
It's like if you have a big horse and then you just deflate it and you really compress it, and it has the tiny legs and stuff. There you have it.
Yeah, and there's something about the tiny legs in you guys too. But go ahead, keep talking.
But no, that was how it got started. But that was she really had an attitude. So the moment you came near or you sat on it, it was like, hop, I'm gonna kick you off. So it bites or it bit or it kicked you or stuff like that. So at a certain moment, my mom and dad asked me like, hey, what about if you get an actual pony? And I was like,
there you go.
Yes, please.
And we're gonna make glue out of this other one. I'll teach you to bite me.
Well, you will not believe how often I threatened to send my pony to the frikandellenfabriek, to the sausage roll factory. But no, I was very serious about it, especially when I grew up. I had a pony which from my 12th until my 17th, I basically took from nowhere into a very high level for an amateur. So when my parents bought the pony, it didn't even understand what a saddle was. And when I was done with it, it's I would sit on it and I would just think, we do this, and poof, it did it. It was like magic.
Now, did you ever win any like blue ribbons or anything like that for your competitions? Anything you ever placed?
You will not believe how many ribbons I have.
Is it that many?
Yeah, I had this whole wall with a key cord, and I put all my ribbons on there. And I always had to, and I have to add, especially when you're a kid, you get a ribbon for, well, not like a participation award, but it's easier to get a ribbon, you know? When you get older, it's like, meh, it's just ribbon. But no, I was actually pretty good. I was club champion. I won our club's, pony club's championship one year. I don't want to brag.
Well, that's okay. I'll brag for you. That's a great thing to be able to do that.
But I was pretty good. And if you look at one of the pictures I've sent you, put it up, or just look at it. Just look at it. So it's the last one I sent to you. It's me on a very dark horse or pony, and that was the pony that I got to a high level. Her name was Edme. She was a true diva. She
Mhm.
really didn't care about anything else in the world. She was like, but no, that was me, and on top of our moments.
I'll pop it up as soon as we get through the PowerPoint here.
Yeah.
So how about this one? You're a cyclist, right? But this
Yep.
is something. Okay. So this goes to the green thing, and I imagine everybody in Eindhoven are cyclists.
Yeah, everyone has a bicycle. Definitely.
Here is my question. How in the hell am I going to find my bike when I parked it over here? Look at some of these pictures, man. It doesn't even look like bicycles. There's so many of them. Do you have to have a chirper on it? Well, how do you find your freaking bike and all that shit?
Do you know we actually have a thing called stray bicycles? You know, bicycles that no one comes to pick up anymore.
Oh, is that?
No, it's.
Adopt a bike? Is that what it's like that?
No, because they're still locked. But no, this is really a thing, especially at train stations. A lot of people who travel by train to the station, to a city, and then want to go to the university. Who want to go to the university on a daily basis, they place a bike at that station, but then they quit their studies, or the bike gets broken, or whatever reason, and they just leave the bike over there. So then you get this, and I think it's a Dutch gift that we just know where our bike is. In the end, it's like, I parked it somewhere over there, and I was always able to find my bike, even after a night of some serious student activities. I was still
watching the lights. Yeah, watching the lights.
Where's my bike? Yeah. And my bike always got me home as well. That was very miraculous. I was like, oh look, it takes me home. How nice.
It has GPS and cruise control. So, on a daily basis, would you say that there are more bikes on the road than there are cars in the morning commute or evening commute?
Oh, that's a tricky. I think more cars.
Is it still more cars?
I think it's still more cars, separate from Corona, to be honest.
Right.
But there are a lot of bicycles around here. So yeah, this is also what I do just to get in and around the city.
Yeah.
Although in your initial question, you showed a speed bike, or how you
I
want to
showed
call
somebody on a speed bike. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually something I have been doing ever since Corona, because we were in lockdown and you couldn't do so much. So we decided to get a speed bike, and just in the weekend we just.
So you got the full gear, you got the helmet, you got the suit on.
I have the suit on. I have the helmet.
The locking shoes that lock into the pedals.
Yeah. Yeah, and you really have to make sure that you get them out of the pedals on time, otherwise you.
Yeah.
I have the full gear. I have the music. I have my Fitbit to track it. I have some. Apparently, we have a lot of green around here. We are sustainable or very green.
Yes, you're very green place. I love it.
Yeah, so it's amazing. It just clears.
I would probably have I'd probably have respiratory problems from fresh air. I'm serious. And I used to be a hardcore bike rider in my younger day.
Really?
Yeah. I would put in 75, 80 miles in a ride, real easy. But there's such a zen thing with riding. You get to a point where your whole body just goes somewhere, and you become one with the bike, and it's just a flow of motion. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
And the scenery that goes along with that, because as you really get out there, I mean, you pick your ride,
Yeah,
and it's not where you're going, it's the trip,
Yeah, definitely. And you get in the flow, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I look forward to the day that I'll actually be able to get back on a 2-wheel bike. I ride a bike every day, but it's a 3-wheel bike because of some physical issues. But that's a daily thing for me. I got to be on the bike and riding. But here we go. Let's try one more thing.
Okay, one more thing.
Are you a longboarder? Now,
I longboard, definitely.
I know you longboard. Do you walk the board? You know how to walk it?
No, I can't dance on the board. I wanna, but I've tried it, and it always ends in me, face palming the road. So no, I really just do it to cruise. So I have a longboard, which is it's like riding a mattress. It's like a flying carpet. You just jump on and you just cruise around. And what I typically used to do is just, you know, jump on a train, take your longboard, go to the city and just cruise around there, have a coffee somewhere or a nice drink. And then when you're done, you cruise back to the station, take the train back, and that's it.
Saska, look at the picture here with the Volkswagen. Those are both longboards, right?
Yep.
Is yours closer to the smaller one or the larger one?
The bigger one.
You got a real longboard then.
I got a real longboard. The other one is a skateboard.
Yeah.
No, I sent you a picture also.
Okay, we'll put it up in post, or we can probably even look at it as soon as we finish this.
Yeah, put it up in post or something, but that's me on my longboard.
Beautiful. I cannot skateboard to save my life, and I never could. It has nothing to do with being old and fat. I'm talking about when I was 18. I couldn't do it.
Okay, I really had to learn it. It's I started when I was 22 or something, and I can do the basics and stuff, but as I don't have the balance to dance or stuff like that. So it's so cool to see.
So you started on like a regular skateboard, of course, right?
No.
You started on a longboard.
I started on a longboard. The thing is, the shorter the board, the easier it turns. So the skateboard is really good for tricks and stuff, and a longboard is just really an easy rider.
Yeah.
Like, here's a longboard, go have. Yeah. So it was like, here's a longboard, go have fun with it. I was like, okay, guess I'm a longboarder now.
And take those wide right turns. Yeah. So
yeah. Definitely.
Instead of just whipping around the corner. So. All right, I think we got one other thing to talk about. I understand that your kids are dogs.
No. Yes, they are.
Yep. And once again, what a interesting dog. Now, you know, I'm a dog person, and I look forward to today. Maybe it's this episode has inspired me for this one also. As I talk to our people, I'd like to do a segment just for the dog owners out there. You know, I did Ilias's werewolf, you know, and now out of all of the dogs out there, I'm here to tell you that the Welsh Corgi is one of the strangest dogs I know. You know,
they're so weird.
They are about as weird gets. So just a couple of things about them. And now I know you have two, and you sent me pictures of those too. And soon as I finish this one, we're going to go ahead and find those pictures and put them up. Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to have them live in the episode, it can be a possibility.
I can invite them. We can dress them up. They look real cute dressed up. You know, when you were talking about your horse, you know, the Shetland with the little short legs.
Stumpy legs.
Yeah, what is it with you guys and the little leg syndrome? Because these dogs right here, they actually have stumps for legs.
But look at them, how they jump, and it's like it's just but to be fair, so we spoke about my horseback riding career. After my pony, I had a horse, and it was the biggest horse you could think about. It was ridiculous. I added a picture, and it was bigger than me. It was, even just to get up, it was like
7 hands.
Get a ladder.
7 hands.
I had to get a ladder. So
really?
He was like huge, but you know the thing about the little stumps with the dogs, and they have this pizzazz, you know, they walk with attitude and purpose, and it's like adorable.
They have a lot of there's a lot of interesting things about them now. Which one do you have? Do you have the cardigans, or do you have the Pembroke?
I have the cardigans.
Oh, so both are cardigans. So your dogs both have tails.
Both my dogs have tails. Should I? Rox, come
here. Call them.
Roxy, come here. I will show you the dogs. Come here, Rox. Come on, come here. So this is.
Hey, which one is that?
This is Roxy.
Hey, Roxy, how you doing?
And when Roxy came here, she came with a contract that she is to be included in everything fun.
Oh,
and
really?
if we don't do that, she's like, hey, we made a deal. You have to include me. We made a deal. But our fox, our Roxy, has a tail.
Yes. Now, that one has a tail. You call it Foxy. So that one definitely would be the cardigan, because this is what I learned about the Welsh corgis. There's actually two different breeds, one being the cardigan, the other one being the Pembroke. The cardigan is the one that has the foxtail.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
mm-hmm.
the Pembroke also has a tail.
Very short.
No. It is born with a long tail. I kid you not. It's born with a long tail, but as a pup, they
normally will chop them off for that one.
Yeah, or they use a very stringent wire, and that's to keep the characteristics of the breed pure.
Right. Now.
A Pembroke typically has his tail removed.
Now, from everything that I read, they're very, very funny dogs. They're full of personality, extremely smart. They're great for protection because they're barkers. They will bark if they hear something. And some even described it as a big dog bark. And maybe that's because the legs just make them short, so they have to overcompensate.
They do that. Let me call the other one. Jaina, come and see.
Wait a minute. There's three?
No, there's two. You saw one, and this is the other one. Oh, Jaina, come here. Come on. This is Jaina.
Oh, look at you.
And Jaina's superpower is to look super awkward.
Oh, so like... the funny faces? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I'm going through some of these pictures, and I'm like, wait a minute. These dogs just make these nutty-looking looks at you, you know?
And she's the barker. Whenever we go for a walk, she barks at anything and everything.
Okay. So she's the one that does the barking. Yeah,
she's very protective. She's like, you will not take away my humans.
Now, they're both about the same in age, or one older, one younger?
Sisters. They're sisters from the same nest.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We wanted to, so they never. They would always be able to play with each other.
Now, would you at this point call yourself just a corgi person, and from here on out, it's always a corgi?
No. I'm enjoying these dogs, but if we ever get different dogs, and we'll see what we feel like then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because sometimes the characteristic of a dog a lot matches the owner, and it makes for a real good matchup. So with the cardigan, is a little more reserved than the Pembroke. They said if there was a party, the cardigan would be the one greeting you at the door. The Pembroke would be the one in the backyard having a blast. So one is like really hyperactive. That's why I showed the two difference in these pictures. You got a Pembroke actually running and stuff like that, and they got big old butts too.
They do. They have like the floofiest of butts. It's amazing. It's so nice.
It's like, what a nice butt. It's like, yeah. Well, you'd have a nice butt too if you didn't have any knees. I'm like, okay, so. Anyway, so that was our trip today, our high-speed road tripping through the Netherlands. I actually had a blast just learning about your country, and I'm hoping that one day I'm hoping one day I'll actually be able to go out there and see that, Hey,
you're always welcome here.
Real quick, let's pop right back in and let's pull up your pictures.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So I'm going to click on a picture. You tell me what I'm looking at.
Yeah, sure. So this is
that's a big horse.
Yeah, that's my giant. That was his name was Sazu.
Sazu.
Like the bird in The Lion King.
Uh-huh.
And he was huge.
That's a big horse. That is a very big horse.
Yeah. You know how we spoke about how the Dutch are so big and that I'm so big, and well, here's a horse for comparison. And
wow.
If he put his mind to it, he could walk like on the stars. You would enter the ring. I did dressage, so it was you enter the ring and was like, wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Downside was when he got stronger. When I started with him when he was really young and he didn't have any muscles, and he was very sweet and he did anything I told him to do, like here in the picture. But once he got older, he got and stronger, he was like, I actually don't want to do stuff anymore. So the moment he was done with doing stuff, he just started bucking and
he would let you know I'm tired. He's like, hey, that's enough. Damn it, get off my back.
Yeah, and one time I fell with him. I almost lost my right leg because it was like this much, and he would have fallen on it as well. He did
Oh,
fall.
wow.
So in the end, it wasn't meant to be anymore. We had a great
Okay.
time, but he wasn't for me anymore. So, yeah.
Right. So here's you on the longboard.
That's me on the longboard. So now you also see how long the longboard is. This is me cruising around. Yeah, that's actually here in Eindhoven.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now that's not bumpity going over stuff like that.
No, that's really smooth because
Right.
it's really smooth. Yeah.
So you change your wheels out and all of that stuff and oil it up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we have to oil it up and change the wheels and the largers and all that stuff. And
is that
also
pretty
do
popular out
maintenance.
there? Is that a big thing?
There is a scene, but it's not like everyone is doing it. That's not the
Right.
case. It's
Cool.
it's now and then. You see more people now with an electrical longboard.
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm
I've
just
seen those.
doing
Yeah.
the manual thing.
Oh, that's great. Where were you at here?
This is me in Germany. We went hiking last year when we were still allowed to travel, and we were on this cliff and we had an amazing, view. Once a year, we always take the dogs with us hiking somewhere not too far away.
Right.
So yeah, this was our trip to Germany.
It looks like there's a lake or something right through the trees. It's the Rhine. It's the Rhine River.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know. No, it was so you see these cliffs. We were sitting there and we were having this view and of this beautiful lake, and the sun was still it's about to set, I think, here in this picture, and it was a little slice of heaven. So yeah.
Lovely. Oh, and look at them. The dogs get to go out and they handle terrain real good with little stumpy legs like that.
Oh, they handle anything real good.
Yeah.
We can so we take them for a hike every year. We take them walking in the forest every week. They get their regular walks, of course, and doesn't matter what the terrain is, there's always enough energy to run around and play around and bark at other dogs and bark at other people.
So it's actually really deceiving because those little legs can jump pretty high too.
Yeah.
I've seen some pictures. I'm like, damn, that little guy got all the way up there like that in one jump.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing with these dogs is everyone thinks they're cute and they know they're cute, so they get away with everything.
See the little fuckers.
It's like, I know I stole this, but hey, look at how cute I am.
Now watch this face I'm about to make.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I really had a lot of fun with that.
There's still one picture below if you want to use it.
Oh, is there another one? Where? Let's see.
There's the one
oh,
below.
yeah, that's on the horse again. Now, that's not the same horse.
No, that's not the same. That was my pony. That was, she was real.
That ain't no pony. Look at that. That's a big horse, too.
No. This was me when I was 15, 16, I guess. And here she has, this is really when she's on Z niveau, on Z level for an amateur, so really high level. And she had a lot of muscles here. And this was really when we were in sync with each other. We would just think and it would just happen. And that was
Sas-Ka, that's not my idea of a pony. That's like a muscular, shorter but muscular. It almost looks like a miniature Clydesdale. I mean, look at that thing. It's ripped.
Well, if you compare it with the first picture, it's a world of difference. But this here, she was ripped. That's it took really some practice, but she was one big bundle of muscles.
Now, does this one hop or go over the stuff and things like that too?
She did not jump. That was something she did not do.
Okay.
As I said, she was a real diva.
Right.
But she was amazing at dressage. Except she did this one thing where when we were at a competition and we were in the ring, the moment she had an out, she would take it. I had one time, I had to stand still and then walk 4 steps backwards. And literally what she does is she stands still and she leans backward and stops. And there was nothing I could do because I was like, but so yeah, we had tried quite a trip. I often shouted like, just bring it to the sausage factory.
No.
But we find each other. We found each other every time again, and yeah, this was the result. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Here, let me see where it was. This is where I get lost all the time in the opening and the closing. Oh, there it goes. It's my eyesight. Oh, shit. Come on, dude. Let's see. Well, we'll edit that one out. That's for sure. Where am I? Oh, it's up here. I'm sorry. Stop sharing. Okay, we'll edit that out. And 3, 2, 1. So, hey, I want to thank you so much for letting us share all of that. Wasn't that fun, though?
It was fun. I'm so happy that we did this.
I'm glad it finally came through too, and it was a lot of fun just prepping for you because I knew that this would be epic. I said that too. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I'm doing Saska, and it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be a great one. So
yep, yeah. It was the first moment you asked me via Slack, like, hey, shall we do a podcast? It was like,
okay, and that's a beautiful thing.
Thank
you so much. That's a beautiful thing. So with that, we're going to say goodbye. I know we're about at the end of our time anyway, because we're using the free version and they only give you like 40 something minutes. I guarantee you we went over that though. But
definitely. You have to cut away a lot of stuff, but that's okay.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of cleaning, but that's because it's just a comfortable talk. So, that's all it is. So but I think we covered most of it. All right. I love you. And
love you too.
You take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon. And say goodbye to everybody out there, all the rLoopers. And
I will.
Uncle
Until
G,
the next time.
And we're out. Love you guys. Toodle pips.